Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the mid-month meeting of October 2020. We will start with a few updates from council and then I think move into a short question period, and we have some agenda items to move tonight. Just to let everybody know, and there'll be more information on the city website today. Unfortunately, I and my children and my husband have tested positive for COVID-19. That we were tested on Friday after very mild symptoms. And so we are isolating for the prescribed amount of time from public health, and I will be working remotely, as I have been, like many of you have been doing for months now. So as it stands now, we are feeling okay and feeling very fortunate that we're not experiencing greater symptoms than this. But I want to thank my colleagues on council and certainly in the administration that have been very supportive over the past couple of days with this. So other announcements that you will have maybe seen on the city website over the past couple of days and from the province was that there is financial support that's been given to municipalities across the province of Quebec. And so the Westmount portion of that, which covers loss in revenue and also increased expenses due to COVID-19, of which we had for examples of that would be, running a day camp, running the pool, different things that we've had to put into place in terms of security and safety measures for citizens. And then loss of revenue as well for the city. So our portion from the Quebec government is $4.2 million, of which we will receive 2.8 in December, and the remaining portion will come in March 2021. And that is so that the provincial government has done that so that municipalities can balance their budgets, which, as you know, we have to. So that is to offset some of the loss of revenue and the increased costs. So there'll be more. There are more details of that on the city put out a statement on that today. So that is a lot of news from my family's end, but I will hand it over to, I think, Councillor Breshke has an update that she wanted to share.
Yes, just a very brief update regarding some construction around Westmount near District 5. So as you know, Groupe Maurice is in the process of building a new residence for seniors. I welcome anyone who's interested in this project to check it out on the website. There's a whole page. The residence is called Liz, L-I-Z, and we're in good communication with Groupe Maurice, and we'll be receiving a presentation on the rollout of the construction. So rest assured, all the residents' questions that have come my way or concerns, I will make sure to address, and there'll be some information moving forward. That's about it from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Breshke. Councillor Gallery, I think, had some updates as well.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to let you all know that the City of Westmount is very proud to help HIMA Quebec in its annual blood drive. It will be held at Victoria Hall next Monday, October 26th. This year will be different. You have to book online and reserve your time. Please, we encourage everyone to donate their blood in this very difficult time, in this current health crisis. So appreciate all participants signing up. Additionally, I'd like to let you know that the current status of our programming stays put for now. Should there be changes after October 28th, we will be sure to let everybody know. Everything will go online, but also continue to look at our website for the library activities, our sports and rec activities. There's lots online. So far, the feedback and participation has been tremendous. So continue checking us out, and we will always communicate if ever there are further changes. So stay tuned. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And Councillor Lulham, I think, has an update.
I do. Thank you, Mayor Smith. So as part of Westmount's master plan review process, the Imagine Westmount 2040 project, you're invited to participate in a land diagnosis online activity. The activity will function as an online survey and will be available for 1 month. It started last Friday and will run until the 15th of November. It aims to enrich the current understanding of Westmount's territory by identifying its strengths and weaknesses related to the following 6 topics: housing and social fabric, transportation and mobility, local shops and services, environment, identity, and heritage. So I welcome you all to please go on the city website. Oh, also public amenities and public spaces. So I welcome you to go on the city's website and to complete the survey. You can see it on the upper banner of the city's website. You can also Google Imagine Westmount or Engage Westmount and the survey will come up. Thank you very much. And I will tell you, Councillor Gallery, I've been enjoying the library magazines and newspapers, and I urge everybody to use these platforms. Wow, great variety and selection. And free.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. I think that's all the updates for tonight from councillors, but as I'm sure as many residents have seen, the province and public health have put out guidelines for a safe Halloween. And while we won't be able to do our traditional haunted house that public security puts on every year, the public health has put out guidelines with the province about how Halloween can continue. But if there are any changes to that, that will obviously be out in the media over the coming days as we lead up to Halloween. So with that, I turn it over now to the city clerk for any questions that have come in from the public.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have received 2 questions today. The first is from Daniel Lambert, and his question is as follows. With COVID infections this winter, the city must enable people to get out safely for fresh air and exercise and to travel by bike to avoid public transportation. Recommendations: reinstate no parking along Côte Saint-Antoine. Fast, high-quality snow cleaning of popular sidewalks, bike paths, and park paths, completely clean to enable social distancing. Reduce maximum speed in Westmount to 30 kilometers an hour to create a safer environment for walking and cycling. A city center contact has indicated it is unlikely Montreal would object to limiting speed to 30 kilometers an hour on arteries. Several sections of the boulevard are already 30 kilometers an hour. The SPVM should follow this change with ticketing operations so as to show that this measure is important.
Thank you. Just trying to make sure I've captured everything from that question. So, Mr. Lambert, we share your concern with making sure that pedestrians are safe. And we were very appreciative of your input last year for our sidewalk clearing and our increase in staff and investment at Public Works. And we plan on continuing that this year and improving on last year from the learnings that we had from those snow clearing operations. But we do understand that there's even that more of a challenge this year as people, many of whom are working from home and perhaps using the sidewalks in Westmount during the day even more. So I will certainly reach out to you and make sure that we have your full, to get more ideas from you on that. And as for the 30 kilometers, I hear you on that. And I know in several sections of the city, we are already 30 kilometers. I think what we can do is we've recently put together a map where you can see what sections are 30 versus 40. We will put that up on our website. And if you have specific areas that you would like to address with that, I'm happy to discuss that with you with my colleagues who sit on the TAC committee as well. And I think that was it for the question. I'm not sure if I've missed anything on that, or if anyone else wants to add on to that. Anyone else? No? Okay. Next question.
Okay. Our next question is another question from Daniel Lambert, this time presenting himself in his capacity as representative of the Association of Pedestrians and Cyclists. And his question is as follows. When the section of Westmount Avenue close to Roslyn School was rebuilt, several planting zones were created inside the sidewalks near intersections. This year, the plants chosen for the zones east of Roslyn School have grown to nearly 4 feet high, so young children walking behind the plants are hidden from drivers. This is particularly a problem near the northeast corner of Westmount Avenue and Roslyn Avenue, where children approaching the intersection from the east can be hidden from drivers. Recommendations: cut down the plants to eliminate the blind zones. Ask Public Works to take care when selecting plants for parks and planters to avoid creating blind zones which compromise pedestrian and cyclist safety.
Thank you. Those are very good recommendations that we will definitely pass on to Public Works. I guess it's the fine balance between finding enough height so that the bump outs are noticeable and differentiate from the street and the sidewalk for drivers, but also making sure that pedestrians have as much safety as possible. So I will certainly pass on those recommendations to Public Works and to the horticultural team. Does anyone else want to comment on that?
I'll follow up with them on that as well.
Okay.
We had a very good growing season, I have to say, this year.
Yeah, they're huge.
Usually frost has killed them by now, but we've left them in as long as possible. We've left all the plants in as long as possible because they're so beautiful and the weather's been so beautiful. So
yeah. Okay. But thank you for the suggestion.
Yep.
So are there any further questions, or is that it for tonight?
That's it for our first question period.
Okay, so now we move to the more formal part of the agenda. So now with the adoption of the agenda, Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. I propose that the agenda of the regular council sitting of October 19th be adopted.
Thank you, and I have a seconder. Councillor Lulham, all in favor? Carried. Sorry, I'm just got to go back and forth between these two here. So the confirmation of minutes, again, Councillor Chamy.
Merci, Madame la Mairesse. Je propose que le procès verbal de la séance ordinaire du conseil tenue le 5 octobre 2020 soit approuvé.
Thank you. And a seconder on that. Councillor Bostock, all in favor? Carried. Now we move again. Now reports to council, correspondence. There are no reports tabled. And item 6.2, again, Councillor Chamy.
Madam Mayor, I move that the minutes of the General Committee meeting of council held the 21st of September are tabled and are now available on the city's website.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder on that motion? Councillor Breshke, all in favor? Carried. Item number 7 is the nomination pension plan committee for the officers and the employees of the city of Westmount and pension committee for the police and firemen of the city of Westmount. A renewal. Again, it's Councillor Chamy.
Madam Mayor, I move that the mandate of Madame Jocelyne Dragon, Director of Human Resources Department, as a member representing the employer on the pension plan committee for the officers and the employees of the city of Westmount, be renewed for a 3-year term effective October 19th, 2020, and that the mandate of Madame Jocelyne Dragon, Director of Human Resources Department, as a member representing the employer on the pension committee for the police, firemen of the city of Westmount, be renewed for a 3-year term effective October 19th, 2020.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder for that motion? Councillor Gallery, any further comments on this?
Straightforward.
All in favor? Carried. Item number 8, nomination, again, Councillor Chamy. Nomination pension plan committee for the officers and the employees of the city of Westmount and the pension committee for the police and firemen of the city of Westmount.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that Monsieur Benoit Ortebise, Director General, be appointed as a member representing the employer on the pension plan committee for the officers and the employees of the city of Westmount for a 3-year term effective October 19th, 2020, and that Monsieur Benoit Ortebise, Directeur Général, be appointed as a member representing the employer on the pension plan committee for the police and the firemen of the city of Westmount for a 3-year term effective October 19th, 2020.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder on that? Councillor Bostock again, all in favor? Carried. And now we move to item number 9. Again, Councillor Chamy, nomination interim assistant director, human resources.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that Mr. Roslane Mediuni, be appointed to the position of Interim Assistant Director of Human Resources as of October 19th, 2020, until the full-time return of Ms. Annie-Claude Serra, all in accordance with the salary recommendation of the Director of Human Resources as stipulated in the decision-making file number 2020-1102 and according to the terms provided for in the working conditions and the remuneration of management personnel.
Thank you. And a seconder on that motion would be Councillor Breschke. Any further comments on this? All in favor? Carried. And now we move janitorial services at the Westmount Recreation Center, item number 10, and that is Councillor Gallery.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that in accordance with section 573.3, paragraph 1, 2.3K of the Cities and Towns Act, RLRQ CC-19, the City of Westmount award a contract by mutual agreement to Axia Services for the janitorial services at the Westmount Recreation Center for a period of 10 months from November 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2021 for a total amount of $125,046.24, including taxes. That the Director General be authorized to sign any document necessary and or required to give effect to this resolution.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Breschke. Any further comments, Councillor Gallery?
No, cleaning.
No. All in favor? Carried. Item number 11, modification of a contract, purchase of cables. Again, Councillor Shammy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that the contract awarded to Lumen Division du Sonepar Canada Inc. for the purchase of cables, resolution number 2020-04-72, be modified and increased to a maximum amount of $331,524.54, all taxes included, and that an additional expenditure be authorized in the amount of $21,001.06, all taxes included, of the purchase of cables with Lumen Division de Sonepar Canada Inc. And finally, to allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making file numbers 2020-0991 and 2020-1100.
Thank you. Sorry. Do I have a seconder on that? Councillor Gallery, any further comments? No. All in favor? Carried. Now we move to Councillor Cutler. Modification of a contract, additional work for Axia Services disinfection COVID-19. Councillor Cutler.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that contract awarded to Axia Services for the janitorial services for various municipal buildings in the City of Westmount, resolution number 2018-09-194, be modified and increased to a maximum amount of $2,229,453.38, all taxes included, and that additional expenditure be authorized in the amount of $311,170.56, all taxes included, for the janitorial services, the various municipal buildings in the City of Westmount with Axia Services. To allocate this expenditure in accordance with the financial information included in the decision-making files number 2018-1585 and 2020-1095.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder on that? Councillor Shammy, any further comments?
So, Mayor, you had mentioned earlier, obviously, the financial contribution being made by the province for some of these additional costs that municipalities have incurred. Obviously, the janitorial services required, the cleaning, disinfecting, all of that is one of these. And the second thing I'll add is that unlike many other municipalities, any changes to original contracts, any additional costs always come back to council for approval. So we don't budget an extra 10 or 20 or 30%. If there's a $300,000 increase on a over $2 million project, it's still coming back to us for transparency purposes and good governance.
Thank you for that, those further details. All in favor? Carried. And now we move to our final item, urban planning, approval of building permits. Councillor Peart.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move that according to the recommendations made by the Planning Advisory Committee at its meetings held on October 6th, 13th, and 14th of 2020, the building permit applications appearing on the attached list reviewed under bylaw 1305 on site planning and architectural integration programs be approved.
Thank you. And I'm sure Councillor Lulham would like to second that. All in favor? Carried. Do we have any further, then that was the last item on the agenda. Do we have any further questions that have come in, Maitre Brownstein, in the past few minutes?
Just refreshing to see the latest. We
Thank you. And I'm sure Councillor Lulham would like to second that. All.
Sorry, playing it on YouTube at the same time. No further questions for our second question period.
Okay, thank you. The meeting is adjourned and we will be back. I think the November meeting is November 2nd. So thank you very much and good evening, everyone.